two devices. Can you share the parliamentary system with one? Let me know if you're ready to screen share as well. Let me know if you're ready to screen share. Give us a signal in the chat box. Let me know if you're ready to screen share. Give us a signal. So Yasmin, are you able to share screen or no? Are you able to share screen with one of your devices? Okay, thank you, Fadi. Thank you. So once Yasmin's parliamentary system is up, we will start. Okay, I'm gonna start roll call, so you can just type a I in the chat box, and can we please have one person from each organization? Typing a Y, please. Okay, motions committee and exco, please help me to count.
Recording in progress.
Okay, ASEP Algeria, NEPS Australia, AFOP Austria, CAPSI Canada, CPSA Croatia, CCPSA Czech Republic, EPSF Egypt, ANEF France, BPHD Germany, GPSA Ghana, ISMA-FASI Indonesia, IFSA Iran, APS Japan, LPSA Lebanon, MyPSA Malaysia, KMPSV the Netherlands, NZFSO New Zealand, PPHSF Pakistan, FJC Philippines, PPSA Poland, APE Portugal, QFAS Qatar, KNET Republic of Korea, FESFA Romania, NUSPA Singapore, SPSA Slovakia, DSHFSA Slovenia, PSET Thailand, TPAYC Turkey, PPSA United Kingdom, APHA ASP United States. Give us a second to count how many voters are in the House. Okay. Daniel and Motions Committee, can you just type in the chat how many you've counted so we can cross-check?
I got 28.
28. And everybody else? $28 from Sebastian as well. 28 from Ebtehal. Luca, did you also count 28? Okay, so we have a consensus on 28. We have 28 voters in the House, which is quorum. So we'll start with the GA. So Yasmin, you have the floor.
Hello, everyone. So let's get started. Procedural motion to resume the standing orders. You guys can type in the chat box. You type the name of your member organization. But okay, so proposed by IPSF Egypt, seconded by KNPSV the Netherlands. Thank you. We will proceed with the elections. We will begin with the president election. We have 4 candidates. And Mr. Flynn Swift from NAPSA Australia, Mr. Johanna Laurent from TAPSA Tanzania, Ms. Arwa Idris from FPSA Sudan, and Ms. Isabella Stoica, I think, pass for Romania. Sorry for pronouncing it correctly. So we will begin with the presentations. So Mr. Flynn, you have 3 minutes to present. The floor is yours.
Just before we start, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can. You may proceed.
Perfect. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed Bali. I was extremely sad I couldn't attend this year due to personal matters, but nonetheless, it looked like an amazing event. And for those who haven't met me before, my name's Flynn Swift, and I'm running for the president of IPSF for the 2023 to 2024 mandate. I'm a 4th-year part-time student from Australia. As most of you will know from the nomination form, I've been a part of IPSF for just over 4 years now. I've just finished up my term as the president of NAPSA, where we have just under 2,500 members, but projected for next year to have more than doubled in size due to what my team and the team who has replaced us have accomplished in just 1 year in terms of the membership growth and engagement. Being involved in IPSF since 2019 has given me the insight into the internal and external functionings of IPSF. And through attending multiple general assemblies, this has given me the opportunity to contribute to the official documents of IPSF. Having a strong emphasis on policy and leadership is crucial for the role of the president. Through my experience at NAPSA, I've acquired skills that can be effectively transferred from NAPSA to IPSF. This is seen through my experience with engaging with high-level stakeholders, discussing national MOUs, professional representation and presentation at high-level events, as well as innovative ideas expanding NAPSA's reach through policy and advocacy. I believe this makes me qualified to step up into the president role of IPSF, and with the help of the executive committee, have an amazing and fruitful year ahead. I love that word. My plans going forward for the IPSF mandate is to focus on continuing what the 2022 to 23 team have done with nurturing and flourishing IPSF's post-COVID through the 2023 to 2026 strategic plan. Building a foundation on implementing short and long-term goals for the strategic plan is very important due to ensure the success and fluent continuation and progression throughout the years, which can be discussed through the EM1, if not earlier. Most of you might know that a major IPSF milestone is coming up, being the 75th anniversary. I believe this can be a major selling point on investment and opportunity of growth for IPSF to reconnect with alumni and expand on our partnerships with FIP, WHO, the UN, and other key stakeholders through planned events and shared memories, showing the growth of IPSF and our relationships. Another plan I have for IPSF this year is to engage in more education and professional development advocacy throughout our advocacy portfolio, as it is important that each membership organization has equality in terms of knowledge and quality of practice. If elected, I'm excited to work alongside Yafan and the rest of the EXCO and learn from their abundance of knowledge to help guide IPSF in an ever-growing direction. I look forward to answering any questions presented. Good luck to the other nominees, and thank you for your time and consideration. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Next, we have Mr. Johanna. You have 3 minutes to present.
Hello, good afternoon. If you hear me, you can just give me hi.
Yes, we can hear you. You may proceed.
Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed pharmacy students and professionals, good afternoon. My name is Johanna Laurent from TAPSA, Tanzania, and I'm a present contestant for IPCF president position for 2023-2024. I stand before you here today with a heart full of gratitude that it's an honor to be nominated for this position. I'm humbled with a heart full of gratitude. I've been IPSF member since 2017. I have more than 6 years experience with IPSF. Have participated in different IPSF congress and some conferences and competitions, and including 2020, I was among winners of IPSF volunteering competition and among Nanjing settlement anniversary winners. Dear fellow future pharmacists, I believe that IPCF, we are a family that is stretched across the globe, and our strengths lie in our unity. Our unity is not just symbolic, but it's about being together. If I will be elected as the president of IPCF, the following is the thing which I will consider to do for the IPCF in my term. As technology is taking the wheel and the pharmacy landscape is growing faster than ever before, I will consider technology in IPCF. We must not only keep this, but we have to lead the change. And in IPCF, we will foster a culture of creativity and exploration. We will create a culture of innovation within IPCF, where members are encouraged to explore ideas, think boldly, change the norms, and develop groundbreaking solutions. We will create an innovation hub within IPCF that empower members to propose and develop creative solutions to pharmacy-related challenges. My fellow IPSF members, my commitment as the IPSF president is to empower you, the leaders of tomorrow. In my term as a president, I will empower us by by providing mentorship, training, and opportunity to lead within IPCF and beyond. In my term, we will cultivate the culture of excellence, where leadership is not just a position, but a mindset. Also, we'll put advocacy in the heart of our mission. We will champion campaigns that tackle critical healthcare issues, such as antimicrobial resistance, vaccination, and accessible healthcare. The pharmacy student from low and middle developing country, I understand the consequence of diversity in our global education, and I think it's time to advocate for the champion for the improvement of global pharmacy education, to adapt to new education policies which bridge the cultural gaps and cultivate our global understanding. Also, I know that to achieve our missions, we need a solid foundation, and in my term, we will develop funding models that ensure our initiative thrive for generation. We will work tirelessly to ensure that IPCF financial stability through strategic partnership, sustainable funding models, responsible stewardship of resources, and by strengthening our relationship with the corporate partners for grants, we will secure the resources needed to make our vision reality. Finally, I believe in the power of youth. I believe that our generation have the passions, the ideas, and energy to shape the bright future. We are the change makers.
Mr. Johanna, I'm sorry, but we have to cut you off because you have exceeded your 3 minutes. But thank you so much for your presentation. Next, we'll proceed with Ms. Arwa.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hold the floor.
Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Hello, IPS family. Let me tell you, I hope you're enjoying your time. Let me tell you a short story. 3 years ago, I moved from Saudi Arabia to my home country, Sudan, and I observed how people suffered to get access to healthcare services. They waited in queues to get their medications. So I promised myself to work to solve this problem. And I volunteered in many local and international organizations to solve this problem, and I kept growing until I was selected to represent the IPSF at the ECOSOC Forum held by the United Nations in its headquarters in New York, and it was a milestone for me to be heard, seen, and involved to represent the federations. And this is the value for me as an IPSF president, to give this opportunity to every and each member of the federation to be to grow together, as no one born qualified.
And I believe that by empowering the future pharmacists, we are going to improve the health care system globally. As the result of my experience for 3 years, I sharpened my communication, interpersonal, and leadership skills, which I believe being a leader is not an easy task. It requires a lot of commitment, disciplines, and I'm confident that I can do it as I've done it before. As for my plan, I have detailed my plan in my nomination form. I'll be working to improve the situation of the federation internally and externally regarding finance, sponsorship, and strategic planning, capacity building, and make it the golden era for the IPSF and its member to grow. And I believe that time management is an important skill, so I made my plan in a timetable. Lastly, as a female from a developing country, I believe that there is specific challenges not everyone is aware about that I'm going to work on as detailed in my plan to improve the pharmacy education and practice in developing countries. Thank you so much for your time and undivided attention. This was Arwa Ahmed, pharmacy student at University of Khartoum, Sudan. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Arwa. Lastly, we have Ms. Isabella. You have 3 minutes to present. Please proceed.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me before we start off.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. So, hi, everyone. My name is Isabella Stoita, and for those of you that I haven't met yet, I am a recent pharmacy graduate, and currently I also represent the European Regional Office as the chairperson. My official journey in IPSF began in 2019, and with that, I was able to experience a series of diverse positions and roles within the team that not only allowed me to understand the inner workings of the Federation, but also motivated me to continue to challenge myself and improve my abilities. Throughout this whole journey, I have actually witnessed the complex role that pharmacy students can play in the development of healthcare, and how important it is to have a collective voice and to be able to make a change. So with this in mind, I believe that IPSF has an incredible potential to make a difference on a global scale and bring innovative and transformative ideas to our profession. So as you might know, IPSF now represents 500,000 students and recent graduates worldwide, and that only makes me excited for the opportunity to help shape the future of this federation. And I am dedicated to bring our members closer to becoming the healthcare professionals of tomorrow if elected. So my vision for the position in IPSF centers around fostering a dynamic and inclusive community that empowers each member to excel in their journey. And if elected as president, I am committed to first creating an environment where every member's voice is heard and valued, while making accountability and transparency as key factors in the federation's growth, introducing innovative initiatives that empower our members' educational experience and professional development, expanding our visibility by leveraging unique projects and amplifying our advocacy efforts, and continuing to build on our partnerships and, of course, engaging in meaningful collaboration. It is important to not only focus on the impact that these projects and activities have on bringing the skills and knowledge closer to our members, but also on the people that help make them a reality. So with this in mind, I am confident that together we can build a strong community where innovation, self-development, and professional growth thrive, and we can make a positive change in shaping the future of pharmacy education and practice. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to answering all of your questions.
Thank you so much. So now we will proceed with the open discussion. Everyone, you may submit your new comments or direct comments in the speakers list. And as always, we first have Valeria. We have Apif Portugal. The floor is yours.
Valeria Apif Portugal. First of all, thank you all for your application. We wanted to ask, in case you get elected, how do you plan on keeping your team motivated, on track of their work and the Federation's needs? Thank you.
Thank you. I hope the question was clear. We will start the answers according to the order. So first we'll hear from Mr. Flynn. The floor is yours. I just want to remind everyone that we have 2 minutes to answer questions. So keep that in mind when answering. And then Mr. Glenn, you may proceed.
Perfect. Thank you for the floor, Flynn Swift, President nominee. So throughout the past 3 years, I was on the NAPSA team as well as the president for 1 year. And I noticed that a big lack, what we were missing the past 2 years was, keeping everyone accountable, keeping everyone going, keeping everyone motivated to work and fulfill that full year, because most of us, would sign on, would be ready to go. And then after a couple months in, 4-6 months in, a lot of burnout was happening and a lot of people were getting tired and, not really seeing the effect that their work is happening, like not only within the team, but externally as well. So a thing that I really pushed on this year was like internal support with each other. We would be meeting, we'd have all set meetings and everything like this, but we'd also have mental breaks, discussions throughout our team just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. No one's feeling left out. No one's feeling alone. And if there was any support needed, to always, be in a situation where we can offer support, even little ideas and little breaks to just keep everyone going. Because this year we did have quite a full-on year with 5 of our 8 board members being interns, which I don't know how it is in most of the other countries, but intern year for Australia means that you're working full-time 5 days a week and you only really get the weekend off. So I took it amongst myself to make sure to be reaching out to mostly our interns on the board as well as the rest of our board, just to make sure that they're comfortable in working. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. We'll next hear from Mr. Johanna. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the nice questions. I have a very short answer in these questions. As a president, how I keep my team motivated? I will keep my team motivated through love and support. Understanding everybody, external and internal factors that are pushing him or her to work. Having a regular discussion, a regular checkup, regular calls to know everybody how they're doing. Sometimes you can member of your team can be passing through a terrible conditions or terrible situation and you don't understand. You're just pushing them to finish the work that you have just provided without understanding the external and the internal factors that are affecting them. So personally, we will have a team that's motivated by love and supporting each other, loving each other, and making a regular communication with every member of the team to keep them updated, to make sure that they are updated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johanna. We have a technical from IPSF Elena. You may
Did you
have
hear
the
me?
floor. You may type in the chat box.
Hello?
Yes, you may proceed. What's your technical?
Do you receive what I've presented?
Mr. Johanna, I'm sorry, I'm talking to GPSA Elena. They have a technical, they raised the technical in the chat box, and so I'm asking what's their technical? BPSA raised during a time limit for Mr. Johanna, so we already got that covered. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, so I see nothing from GPSA Elena, so we will proceed with the...
Sorry.
Okay.
This is Edward, GPS in Ghana. Yes, I have an issue with the speakers list. I happen to be 102, but a different name is appearing for on the parliamentary system. Could that be checked, please? Thank you.
Thank you. You. Okay, so while Stu gets that figured out for you, we will proceed with the discussion. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Arwa. The floor is yours.
Thank you for your question. Well, I believe that team motivation is a problem in many organizations, and the major problem that faced her, team motivation was on top. And I believe that face-to-face meetings have a great effect on that. So when you meet new people, you get more motivated to work with them, to know them more. But the main thing is the ice-breaking activities at the beginning of the mandate. This makes you feel that it's not working. You're meeting your friends every day to enjoy your time and work together, and this keeps you more motivated through the whole mandate. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Oro. Lastly, we'll hear from Ms. Isabella. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Isabella Stoita, IPSF President nominee. Thank you for your question. In my opinion, I do believe team motivation can be a challenging thing to work through, but I do believe communication is key, and it needs to be an effective communication. So during my mandate as IPSF Bureau Chairperson, I found that fostering open and transparent communication within the team really helped. So that would be to keep everyone informed about goals, progress, or any changes made. I also believe celebrating individual and team success can be a great motivation for the team. So during team meetings, to acknowledge achievement and just to give everyone the floor to discuss about their achievements during the mandate, or just to celebrate all the wins, whether it's small or big. Of course, promoting team building activities or bonding activities is also important. So setting time apart for that, setting some dedicated time for that, I believe is a good mark to try and lift up the team spirits. But it's also good to know that it's good to start off with setting some clear goals and setting expectations within the team. So with that, I think having regular one-on-one meetings within the team to prove beneficial. In addition to having in-person meetings and creating a more personal bond within the team, I also think leading by example is an important focus on this. So to demonstrate your dedication and a strong work ethic, I believe having the president lead by example and setting them clear goals for the team would be good in addressing the key elements of motivation and to have the team more likely to continue their work and to see where they stand within the team. And yes, thank you for, I was just about to wrap it up, but thank you so much.
Thank you. And next we'll hear from BPHD Germany. Floor is yours. Okay, we have a point of information, Ms. Suin.
So, Secretary General, thank you for the floor. Maybe more like point of order, but we're having a technical with the speakers list where all speakers with the code after 100 is appearing as Aisha. Lucky Aisha. So I'm trying to fix it, but for the moment, I feel like we might need to clear this current speakers list to do it. So Yasmin, just be mindful of that. When you see a number, just refer back to our speakers list and match the number with the name if you see a number after 100. So yeah, I'm working on it, but I'll let you know once it's solved. But for now, Yasmin, please look at the speakers list. Thank you, and sorry.
No worries. So I'm guessing this is close to 100, so I need to open the speakers list. Okay, guys, just give me a moment.
Hello. So the floor is mine?
Okay, is this you that raised the point? This is BPHD Germany, right? Because this is number 2. So, okay, I'm sorry, but this is LPSA Lebanon. So, LPSA Lebanon, the floor is yours.
Okay, so hi everyone, it's Zainab Bouji, the IPSF contact person for IPSA Lebanon. My question is, could you describe the situation where you've successfully resolved conflicts or disagreements within a team?
Okay, thank you. We will first hear from Mr. Johanna. The floor is yours.
Hello. Can I ask you please for the questioners to repeat asking the question?
Okay, so
PSA, please repeat.
Okay, so could you describe a situation where you have successfully resolved conflicts or disagreements within a team?
Okay, Mr. Johanna, I hope the question is clear. Please answer.
Okay, thank you for a nice question. Yes, the situation of resolving a conflict in the team and of successful resolving a conflict within the team. Firstly, it involve first it involve love, and secondly, your supportive language that you're using for your teams and how you're living with your team, how each other you're taking, how you are treating each other in the team. You know, when there's conflict between the teams, it's somehow very it's a very it is a very complex to resolve it when maybe if there is a mutual team or leaders who are in the same positions, maybe vice and or maybe chairman with his assistants. So first you have to let them know about the cause, what made you do, what made you take the role, or what you are dedicated to do, or what the vision and the mission you have. So let them know about your mission and the vision you have as a team and how important the team is to accomplish those missions. When they understand those things, they will understand that their conflict is just a small thing and for the cause that they have for the mission, and that's will make me will provide some barriers in completing what the mission, what the vision as a team are doing together. So just to let them know about the mission and the vision of the team and how important they are to the team, so that they can put their ego aside and work together as a team. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Arwa. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the question. When I worked as a deputy of the student exchange officer, we had an orientation event. So there were some conflicts about the stage stage of organizing our speech, and this strategy, I believe it helps in any conflict within the team. So just understand the point of views for every individual, their opinions, and trying to find a middle solution to make both parties satisfied. This is, I think, where will satisfy all individuals and solve the conflict. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next we have Ms. Isabella. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Isabella, IPSF President nominee. Thank you for your question. So during my mandate this year, I'm just going to give the most recent example. So with the organization of the European Regional Symposium, it has been challenging since it is a student-led event, and sometimes conflict might arise in terms of miscommunication or certain expectations from both sides that are maybe not clearly understood by both us as a regional working group, but also by the reception committee. So in this sense, while I sensed that there could be a misunderstanding in terms of communication, to resolve this conflict, I had to acknowledge that both parties, so the Regional Working Group and the Reception Committee, were likely under a lot of stress due to the workload of the organization of the event, but also our responsibilities within the team. So therefore, I adjusted my own communication style to increase empathy, to hold. I also implemented holding some regular meetings with the chairperson of the event, and also had a meeting with the reception committee, which proved to be quite beneficial. And we were able to complete the organization of the event. And thus, even though we are still looking forward to having the feedback session with them, I do believe we managed to provide enough support and to try to keep the conflict to a minimum. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Flynn. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Flynn Swift, President nominee. So, conflict is everywhere. You'll face it in every team that you go to, unless you're, very, very lucky. So, as president in the past year, we did also have our fair shares of conflicts and issues within the team and externally as well. And the best example I can give that I think was one of our executive directors had an issue with her subcommittee and the advisory council that fell in her portfolio, without giving too much details of what actually happened. There was, back and forths of who gets to run what, who gets to go to where, who gets to present what. And there was a lot of, just back and forth of they're saying this, they're saying that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. This is making me uncomfortable and everything like that. So the way that I pretty much went around it was that in the best interest, we need to keep everyone's, professional stance. We don't want to damage anyone's professional look here. We also want to keep everyone's emotions intact, just to make sure that, there's no hard feelings, because at the end of the day, we're all students. We all are a team. So we want to keep that in mind. So, I met with both sides of the parties, just to get each side, just to make sure that everyone's equally heard. And then from there, we kind of found where the issue was, and it was mainly just through lack of communication and lack of, open, transparency, talk and everything like that. So once we identified the issue, we broke it down to both of them. We said, hey, let's get back on track. Let's keep the channels open. Let's, keep everything, running the way it was before. At the end of the day, you guys, we're all students, we're all going through the same stuff. We all have, no time on our hands to do most things. But yeah, that's the way that I do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so this time we have a procedural motion from Anzapso, New Zealand.
Thank you for the floor, Chair. This is Amy, official delegate from INZAPSO New Zealand. I'd like to propose a motion to limit the answers of each nominee to 1 minute each, just considering the time that we have left and wanting to go through, obviously the rest of the agenda points during these first two sessions, ideally, and also to be able to get through as many questions as we can. So yes, I'd like to propose a procedural motion to limit the answers to 1 minute each. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to clarify to everyone that currently we have already a procedural motion to have it limited to 2 minutes. So this new procedural motion by Anzapso is to limit it from 2 to 1 minute. So I have to ask, do we have a seconder to this procedural motion? If you do, you write the name. So I'm sorry, FJ Philippines. I'm sorry, but we go with EPIS because they wrote the name. So seconded by EPIS Portugal, we open the floor for discussion. Okay, so we have the floor open for discussion. Do we have any new points on this procedural motion? We have a clarification from GPSA. Lena, where is yours?
Thank you for the floor. Edward, GPSA Ghana. I'd like to get clarification on whether we're supposed to have discussions on procedural motions to limit the floor for discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we have. We can discuss and debate on procedural motions, but we don't debate on closing the floor for discussion and to put or not to put a question. So yes, this procedural motion is up for debate. You guys, for this discussion, for procedural motions, we'll just stick to the chat box. So if you have a new point, you can raise an eye. If you have direct use, double eyes. Instead of using the main speakers list, which we currently have the presidency running on. So I'm just going to ask one last time. Do we have any new comments? Okay, I see none, so we will proceed to voting. Okay, so we will also be doing the voting in the chat box. So it's either a Y or an N for an against. So all those against, type an N in the chat box. Reem, I'm sorry, we already proceeded to voting, so we need to vote. And okay, everyone, we will just pause the voting. Daniel, please put a line. Thank you. And then right now we'll proceed with the voting. So all those against, type an N in the chat box.
Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.
Okay, thank you. We have 9 against. All those for?
$18.
18, thank you. So the motion, since we have simple majority, which is 15, so the motion is carried, and now we have limited the time of discussion from, like, the time of answering from 2 minutes to 1 minute. Thank you. We will now proceed with the discussion, and next we have a VPHD Germany. The floor is yours.
Thank you. VBPHD Germany, thank you for your applications. In what ways would you provide support? In what ways would you provide support to RCs during the organization of World Congresses and regional symposia? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we will now have Ms. Arwal begin with the answering. The floor is yours.
I'll kindly ask if you can please repeat the question. Sorry.
Okay, VPHD Germany.
VBPHD Germany.
VBPHD Germany.
In what ways would you provide support to the
In what ways would you provide support to the
RCs during the organization of World Congresses and regional symposia. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Thank
you. IPF Portugal, apologies for this technical. We will have your point after we finish this one. So, Ms. Arwa, I hope that question is clear now. You may proceed.
Thank you for your question. I believe that regional symposium and all regional events has a huge effect, especially for the motivation of the team for the communication to be more sufficient and getting to know each other. So having supporting the RCs would be in every and each way we could do, so we can make the symposium better and to be in its best way, and to achieve the original performance of
Okay, I think we have a technical. Ms. Arwa, are you still in the room?
Yes, here.
Okay, you may proceed with the answer.
Did you hear what I said before, or was it clear? Or
it was okay. Apologies.
Okay, can I continue, please? I think the connection
cut off. Yes, exactly. So you may proceed, but remember that
okay. Yes, the RC is the main component to success the regional symposium and all regional events. So as a president and as a leader, you inspire and you assist, you direct every and each member in your organization and your federation. So it would be an infinite support for them to do their best at the regional.
Okay, thank you. So we will just, since it's time, we will just move on to the next answer with Ms. Isabella. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor, Isabella Stoita, IPSF President nominee. Thank you for your question. So I do believe that one of the main thing that we can consider is maybe strengthen the collaboration with the actually to collaborate with the internal chairperson and events manager to strengthen our capacity building sessions. So in this case, we could organize tailored capacity building sessions for the needs of DRC that can be focused on specific topics such as how to gather sponsorships, how to build a budget, or how to promote the event, and any other specific needs. Also, I think it's important to establish early contact with the RC because depending on the type of the reception committee and the members that are part of it, they might be new to IPSF, so it would be good to introduce them to IPSF, also to create a plan of action for the event and to constantly follow up, review, and assess the plan during the mandate. And yes, I think this would be good to work together with the
Okay, apologies, but time. So next we'll hear from Mr. Flynn. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor, Flynn Swift, President nominee. Yeah, I 100% agree with what Isabella said with, meeting early with the RC. Me and my team, we ran the National Congress for NAPSA, which was the first one back post-COVID where we didn't have too much, assistance and kind of a plan towards it. And afterwards, we really realized that, early meetings with the organizations that's organizing it, direct plans, meeting with sponsors, assisting, where we can, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are hosting, our event pretty much. So we need to realize that we need to be in their assistance pretty much, no matter what. So yeah, I'll just say, being as supporting as we possibly can, giving our assisting with our outreach pretty much, with sponsors, and giving them our knowledge, and pretty much sharing our expertise. Yasmin, you're muted as well.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for that. So apparently, a minute is tough for everyone, but okay. Next, we have Mr. Johanna. Floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Myself, I understand that how I can provide support for the region and the national congress and the symposium. First, I believe in the collaboration. So, as IPSF president, I will provide. I will emphasize the importance of collaboration with the regional organizers. We can offer the guidance, resources if needed, and expertise to help them have a good plan and execute successful events. And also sharing of resources. As I've mentioned, that's about offering resources. We can share the best practice, such as planning of event planning, materials, promotion, how to promote their events, and that, so to ensure that they have a consistency and a quality in the congress and in the symposium. Also, networking, linking them with some. We're linking them with people or organizations which can help them.
Okay. Can I just get a confirmation that it's time?
Yes, time.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Johanna. Okay. So I guess this point is done. Next, we'll hear from IPSF Portugal, since their point was mistakenly dropped. Floor is yours.
IPSF Portugal. How do you envision to bring MOs closer to IPSF work? Thank you. Policy work, I mean. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, everyone, let's remember that a minute is tough, so try to be to the point and efficient as possible. We'll first hear from Ms. Isabella. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor, Isabella Stoita, IPSF President nominee. Thank you for your question. So in my opinion, I do believe, as previously mentioned, establishing contact since the beginning of the mandate is quite crucial. So that would mean maybe organizing an open session for the members to get to know the executive committee and to become more familiar with IPSF would be helpful. But I also want to point out the importance that the regional offices play in coming closer to member organizations. So maybe providing support to regional chairperson to organize handout meetings or more informal meetings to have a setting to get to know their contact persons, that also members. And of course, to continue to use our social media channels to promote our events is quite crucial. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so apparently I'm the one who had the technical. So next, we just had a clarification from Mr. Johanna. IPSF Portugal, can you please repeat the question?
IPSF Portugal, I've already sent the question to the chat box, but I can repeat it. So how do you envision to bring MOs closer to IPSF policy work? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next we'll hear from Mr. Flynn. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Flynn Swift, President nominee. A good way to essentially bring everyone together, I found, was doing surveys to kind of see where the interest lies between every MO, pretty much, and kind of cater to their needs, as well as meeting regularly, as well as formal and informal. But yeah, a way that I found to gain interest into NAPS's member organizations was to find where their interest lies, see what they're passionate about, and kind of guide the direction of IPSF and stuff like that, in the eyes of their membership. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we'll hear from Mr. Johanna. The floor is yours.
Hello. I think the floor is mine, right? Hello. Do you hear me? Hello, do you hear me? Okay, fine, thank you. I think the way of bringing the members of organization closer to IPSF working policy in my side as a IPSF is through transparency. Ensure that there is a complete transparency in IPSF policies, decision, and activities that are done in IPSF, and having a regular update and a communication with the member of organizations, so that we are providing a regular updates about what's going on the in the IPSF offices and in the area we are carrying out. Also having feedback mechanism that can allow members of the organization to express their opinion and their concern about IPSF works, and so that they can actively listen and input to use their to use that to use their to use their ideas to refine our policies. Thank you.
Thank you. Lastly, we'll hear from Ms. Arwa. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor.
Ms. Arwa, I'm sorry, but we can't hear you.
As Flynn and Isabel mentioned, the regular meetings, formal, informal, and all this will make the MOs closer to the IPSF. Can you hear me?
Ms. Arwa, I'm sorry, but can you please repeat your answer, because we have
Can you hear me?
technical connection was unstable. Your connection is still cutting up pretty bad. So
is it clear now?
I'm sorry. Yes, you may type your answer, yes, in this situation until you fix your connection. So you can write your answer in the chat box. So I'm sorry, but Arwa was the last to reply because we already started with Isabella, so that's why I'm waiting. Okay, so she answered with, as other nominees mentioned, and also having like a week at the beginning of the mandate to learn more about Federation policy and do fun activities would be a great thing to do. Okay, thank you. Would be a great thing to do. So we'll move on to the next point of Anne France. The floor is yours.
Pauline and France, thank you for the floor. We would like to know what are your priorities for the upcoming year, because you all mentioned a lot of different things in your application. Thank you.
Thank you. We will begin with Mr. Flynn. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor, Flynn Swift, President nominee. I think, starting off with definitely is having an early meeting, potentially at EM1 or if not earlier, to kind of discuss plans short and long term for the year. I think that's, definitely something that needs to be done straight away to kind of set the tone, set the working environment for the team. And I guess on like another project that would be good is to branch off in professional development advocacy and education advocacy. I think that's, a good thing, like a good direction to go in throughout the year, because, we do a lot of health related policy and advocacy, and it's also good to branch off into other avenues of advocacy. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Mr. Hanna. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the floor. As IPSF President, my year plan is to having an year meeting to have with the members and the all EXCOM so that we can plan. We can have the annual plan on what we are going to do in our leadership, because we are different leaders and we have different ideas, so that we can plan and evolving my plans and my mission with vision for IPCF, and setting up meeting and having setting up advocacy projects. And because we can say that we have very regular meetings because of financial, I'm not sure if we can afford having a regular face-to-face meeting, but planning on having advocacy programs and different programs that we have to do in our leadership team. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we'll hear from Ms. Anwar.
Thank you for the floor. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can. We can. Thank you.
Sorry about the Sorry about the connection. So now I'm thinking about two main things. The first is having as it's one of the most challenging things in the IPS Federation, and the second is having like campaigns in regional offices to work on the real health challenges in each region. Like in Africa, there is malaria, there is antibiotics, AMR. So these real challenges we can work on regionally to have a real impact in globally. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now lastly hear from Ms. Isabella. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor, Isabella Stoita, IPSF President nominee. So for us, thank you for the questions. One of my main focus would be to work on the internal structure. So that would be to improve transparency and to streamline the working procedure within the whole IPSF team, including starting from the executive and going back to IPSF team members and committees. Next point would be to strengthen our policy and advocacy approach, to plan from the beginning of the mandate, and to also work on including MOs in our policy and advocacy initiatives. Another part would be to focus on our partners and to reevaluate our stand in long terms and also existing relations with our partners, and maybe focus on more long-term sponsorship that would allow us to have a more clear financial stability. And in the end, also to retain the organization of our projects and maybe improve them in the future. Oh, sorry for that. I set my own timer, but thank you so much for the floor.
Okay. Thank you. I have to give it to everyone. Everyone has adjusted well to the minute and is very time efficient. So perfect. Next, we'll hear from GPSA Elena. The floor is yours. GPSA Elena. Okay. So we'll need to move on to the next point. Being last time GPSA Elena, if not present, we will drop this point and proceed.
Sorry.
You're here. The floor is yours.
So I'm following through the parliamentary system and it's not updated. Could you clarify if I have the floor?
Yes, you have the floor. You may proceed.
Okay, thank you very much. Edward, GPSA Ghana. The GPS would like to ask the candidates, in their opinion, what do they perceive as a major weakness within IPSF and how they intend to address that if elected as the IPSF president for the next mandate? Thank you.
Thank you. We'll hear from Mr. Johanna first. The floor is yours.
Please, can you repeat the question? Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, GPSA Ghana, can you please repeat your question?
Edward, GPSA Ghana. The GPS would like to ask the candidates that, in their opinion, what do they perceive as a major weakness within IPSF and how do they intend to address that if elected as the IPSF president for the next mandate? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johanna. The floor is yours. Mr. Johanna, you're muted. Please unmute yourself and repeat your answer.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. What I saw myself for the IPSF leadership, I can say that the lack of having a good and sustainable feedback mechanism that helped the IPSF members to express their opinions and the concern about IPSF, and the lack of awareness about IPSF. For example, in my country, Tanzania, many pharmacy students do not aware about IPSF. They're just aware of TAPSA, but they are not aware about IPSF. So that's awareness of members about IPSF. Members are not aware about IPSF. So, and what I will do is having a proper and sustainable feedback mechanism and providing awareness of students to be aware of IPSF and creating more IPSF chapters in different countries and regions that do not have IPSF regional offices. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Hello. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor. I believe that having a strong presence both on social media and other platforms is the weakness for the federation. Since it's the biggest federation for pharmacy students and it's international, we can improve this by attending other health-related events and forums. Also working with the external relations officer, chairperson, we can look for sponsorships with maybe pharmaceutical companies, other organizations. I believe that we can have a stronger presence for the federation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Isabel. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor, Isabella, IPSF President nominee. So I will just focus on maybe three weaknesses. So, for example, one of them that I noticed is maybe a sense of disconnect within the IPSF team and the members. Sometimes members are not aware of the opportunities that IPSF might offer or are not able to keep up with everything that is shared. So in this sense, I think it would be best to assess in the beginning what are the needs and focus of our members so that we can tailor our projects to their specific needs and maybe also assess the quality of our projects instead of the quantity of our projects that are released during the mandate. Another weakness, I think, it's funding, because being a nonprofit organization, there are a lot of challenges facing secure and sustainable funding to support the work of the federation. So in this sense, I would probably work closely together with the chairperson of externals relations to establish more, and the treasurer as well, to establish more opportunities to secure proper funding.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Flynn. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Flynn Swift, President nominee. Engagement and student response will forever be an issue with any organization. Ways I was able to help bring up the engagement for our students at NAPSA, and I think I would be able to transfer it to IPSF, were face-to-face events through pharmacy and inter-health collaborations with other health organizations. Supporting MOs and their face-to-face events is a really, really big thing, because the way to get them into the international side of, pharmacy and IPSF is to get them in their own local branches first and get them, as engaged as possible. So getting boots to the ground, well, I guess that means getting IPSF support to local events. And another way is to try and break financial barriers through external support, as there definitely is a worldwide increasing the cost of living. So I think that is another weakness to any organization and something that we can definitely help out with. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now proceed with the next point, which is NAPSA Australia. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor. This is Gage Eid from NAPSA Australia. Can you provide examples of how you've demonstrated leadership skills through your past roles and how this would benefit you if elected as IPSF President? Thank you.
Thank you. We will now start with Ms. Arwa. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor. Arwa Idris, President nominee. That's an amazing question, because leadership is an important skills that being a president it's really required. So as I've worked as an officer for the medical conveys or stays, and as a coordinator for blood donation campaigns, we had to work in a huge project to that covers 5 towns and more than 100,000 people. So I think strategic planning, and having a great communication with your team, giving the opportunity to express their ideas and work environment, and celebrating even the small success of the members of the federation or members of your team is what leadership means. Thank you.
Thank you. I see that we have technicals from KNPSV, Netherlands, and BPSA. It's probably because the voice was cutting. Was everything clear when it cleared up, or do you need her to repeat that? Yes or a no in the chat box, please. Okay, so we will have Ms. Arwa repeat your answer because you were breaking up and we couldn't hear you. Or maybe you can just write a summary in the chat box and we can move on to the next.
Okay, no problem. I'll try to summarize it. I said as I've worked as an officer for the medical conveys and as a coordinator for blood donation campaigns, which were a huge project. So I had to communicate with the team in a sufficient way and give opportunity for team members to express their ideas and evaluate them. Also, celebrating the success of each individual of the team is what leadership means. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next we'll hear, we just have a clarification. I just want to remind the nominees that if you have a clarification to repeat the question, you can raise a C in the chat box and clarification point will be given to you and you can ask your question there. So we have a clarification about the question. So NAPSA Australia, can you please repeat your question?
Thanks for the floor, Gage, NAPSA Australia. The question is, can you provide examples of how you have demonstrated leadership skills through your past roles and how this would benefit you if elected as IPSF president?
Okay, thank you. Next we have Ms. Isabella, the floor is yours.
Thanks for the floor. Isabella Stoita, IPSF president nominee. During my mandates in IPSF, I had the experience to work together with quite some diverse team, first as a regional media and publications officer and to lead a subcommittee into creating promotional materials, and also now as the chairperson of the European Regional Office to work together with the regional working group, be aware of all of their projects and try to be supportive and lead them in the decision. But one example was in our renewal of the Memorandum of Understanding with a partnering student association. I believe that was a time where I was able to represent and advocate for our members to make decisions and to ultimately think of what would be the best course of action for our members and accurately represent their needs. So I believe all of these experiences summed up can be a great foundation to start off my mandate and to work together with the team and implement strong work ethic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next we'll hear from Mr. Flynn, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Flynn Swift, President nominee. I think you can see in my nomination form, I have an extensive kind of elaboration on what my term entailed as the NAPSA president, but I'll break some of them down. So engage with multiple high-level stakeholders, discuss with the Minister of Health of Aged Care, attended the Parliament House to speak with politicians and the Speaker of the House as well. I also represented NAPSA at various external events throughout the calendar year. Multiple high-level bodied events, for example, PSA APP, which is kind of our main community event of the year, Pharmacy Connect, other stakeholder conferences as well. So I feel like I have quite a lot of leadership in representation and pushing the team. But I see leadership as, leading not only from the front, but from the back as well. Uplifting everyone together as we, go, we look to go in that one focused direction. But yeah, so there are some examples of leadership for me. Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, we'll hear from Mr. Johanna. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you very much. Myself, I can say that I've been lucky attending many different leadership programs and congress, including that's from Harvard University and different leadership programs. So as a leader with the extensive skills and experience, I've been leading much of organization here in my countries, and I founded one last year. I will use my skills as IPSF president to provide a mentorship, providing a training, and give other IPSF members opportunity to lead within and outside of the IPSF. As a president, what I will do is to cultivate a culture for our members that culture of leadership where the leadership is not just having a position, but a mindset, making members having the mindset of leadership and not having the position of leadership, because not everybody will become a leader, but creating them to have a mindset of.
Thank you. So I just want to remind everyone that we have less than 50 minutes remaining in this session, and we still have rounds of voting to go through and closed discussion to go through. I'm not saying not to answer your questions. What I'm saying is that if you have been satisfied, you can feel free to drop your point if you are satisfied with what has been said, or if your question has already been mentioned in another way, let's say. And also, we cannot end the session until we complete this election. So just keep that in mind while we proceed. Thank you so much. Next, we will hear from District versus Slovenia. The floor is yours.
Yeah, dropped.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have IPSF Lebanon. The floor is yours.
Zainab Bourgi, the IPSF contact person for IPSF Lebanon. So my question is, IPSF operates in an international context with diverse cultures and perspectives. How would you ensure inclusivity and cultural sensitivity in IPSF activities and decisions? Thank you.
Thank you. We will now start with Ms. Isabel. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor. Just to clarify, could you please ask the questions once again? Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
IPSF, your question.
Okay, so IPSF operates in an international context with diverse cultures and perspectives. So how would you ensure inclusivity and cultural sensitivity in IPSF activities and decisions? Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Isabella, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the clarification. Isabella Steta, IPSF President nominee. So while diversity is an important part of our federation, I do think there are maybe several ways that we can improve our work in that sense. And one place example I can think of is maybe with our promotions on a regional level. It might seem that despite English being the working language of IPSF, there might be a barrier in communication with other members. So maybe a good practice would be to include translations into our posts and to make them inclusive to multiple members around the globe and the other IPSF languages that are stated in the official document. One other point would be maybe to organize an informal session to get to know the members of our team from all over the globe, since I believe that is a important part of our mandate to not only work on projects, but also to get to know each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Flynn. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Flynn Swift, President nominee. Being from Australia, I think I'm very privileged that we are, a very, very diverse country. I know that in the past 3 years, my team have been from, all across the globe, with different beliefs and everything like that. So I think that it was very, very important to understand early where everyone, wants to direct their vision, and kind of include everyone without any judgment. It's as simple as that type of thing. So I think, meeting early, understanding everyone's perspective, as well as, meeting with MOs and sharing pretty much the IPSF experience with them. I think that's probably a good way to keep everyone included. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Johanna. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. As IPSF President, how I will ensure that we maintain diversity and inclusive in the IPSF, because we have different members from different countries, and I know that IPSF is a global family, that we are a family that is stretched across the globe. So as the President of IPSF, I will encourage you to have a diverse leadership. encouraging diverse leadership and the diverse representations. This leadership representation will ensure that every people and including their genders and their ethnicity, their nationality, they're included in IPSF leadership. Also, inclusive policies. Having inclusive policies in IPCF that will help to promote fairness and equal opportunities for all members regarding of their background. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I just want to remind everyone that you please state your name and, like in this case, president nominee when given the floor. And next we'll hear from Ms. Arwa. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor. Arwa Idris, President nominee. I believe that Africa is the most diverse place on earth. It's very diverse, and for me, knowing new cultures and meeting new people from different parts from different parts is a great thing, and I believe that every individual from the federation that has the same goals and the same mindset would be the same. Also, as long as we have the respect for each other, I don't think there would be a problem about diversity. And we can benefit from the student exchange program to have a small session or event to know more about cultures and get to know each other more and their cultures. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a procedural motion from NAPS Australia. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor, Gage Aid, NAPS Australia. I'd like to move a motion to move to closed discussion.
Okay, so procedural motion to close the floor for discussion. Do we have a seconder? Okay, that was seconded by BPHD Germany. So, Daniel, can you please have the line?
Yeah.
Okay, so all those against? Okay. All those for?
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
7. Okay. All those for? I just want to remind everyone that there is no abstentions in procedural motion, so it's either for or against.
I count 20, which means one person is not voting. I'll just recount.
I counted 20 as well.
20, yeah. So somebody didn't vote. I'm just going to check if it's the same person as last time.
No, it's not the same person.
No. Okay.
Okay, so we'll have to redo the voting because we have 28 voting members.
I think it's Kufa's Qatar that didn't vote.
Are they in the room?
Let me check.
Maybe they had a technical. She voted against. Okay, so then we have to redo the voting.
Kufas is in the room. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah.
I think it is the same as last time. Oh, no, it's not. It's not. Yeah, I'll have to redo.
Okay, so we'll have to redo all those again. Wait, the line. Thank you. All those against?
Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All those for? I count 8 against.
I count 20 again for.
Yeah, and 8
Okay, can you
against.
check that again? Because I count 8 against.
8 against 24. We have full house.
Okay, thank you. So since this is a simple majority, so the floor is closed for discussion and we proceed to the secret discussion. So I need everyone's cameras please be on or else you will be removed from the room. We need the sharing to be, the recording to be off and live stream as well.
Recording stopped.
Adi, you're the host.
stream is back on, but someone needs to resume the record because I'm not host anymore.
Yes, I can do that.
Recording in progress.
Can I get a confirmation that the nominees are back in? If you are, please type a Y in the chat box.
You're just coming back now? We're just waiting on 2 more people to join, Johanna and David. Just
Okay,
Johanna.
can I get can all the nominees type a Y in the chat box if they can hear me? Then check.
All of the nominees should be back now.
I'm just waiting on Johanna to answer. Johanna, can you type out Y in the chat box, please? You can hear me?
Yeah, everybody's here, actually. So it's fine.
Okay, so I'll just announce the results. The results are 10 for Flynn, 0 Johanna, Arwa 0, Isabella 10, Reopen 0. So congratulations, Mr. Flynn, on being elected as IPSF President for the mandate 2023-24. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, first of all, thank you to all the nominees. Like, don't lose sight in IPSF just because you're unsuccessful. There's a whole lot of other opportunities out there for everyone, and you guys are definitely the cream of the crop. And yeah, also thank you for everyone for believing in me. It's going to be a hell of a year, and just keep your eyes out and let's get the ball rolling. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. So I guess this session is over, and we will now we have the next session in, I want to say, an hour and a half. So we need a procedural motion to, okay, we can continue with the congratulations after we close the discussion. So procedural motion to suspend the standing orders proposed by LPSA Lebanon, seconded by FJCPPHA the Philippines. Thank you. All those against? Okay, motion carried unanimously. Thank you.
Yasmin, LPSA has procedural.
Yeah, they had the, okay, LPSA Lebanon, 4-0.
It was a technical. I sent the procedural motion twice. It was just for closing the discussion, suspending the standing order. Sorry.
Yes, okay, thank you so much. Okay, so we're done. I'm not sure if we have roll call at this point because it's online.
I think so.
Yeah, we'll still do a roll call before we finish the session. Daniel, please. Yeah, Daniel's close the floor. All right, IPSF Algeria, NEPSA Australia, IPSF Austria, CAPSI Canada, CZPSA Croatia. Sorry, I keep saying CZPSA Croatia. CPSA Croatia, CZPSA Czech Republic, IPSF Egypt, ANA France, BPHD Germany, GPSA Ghana, ISMAFASI Indonesia, IPSA Iran, APSF Japan, LPSA Lebanon, MyPSA Malaysia, KMPSV the Netherlands, NZFSA New Zealand, PPHSF Pakistan, FJC PPHA Philippines, PPSA Poland, APEF Portugal, QFAS Qatar, KNEX Republic of Korea, BEST Romania, NUSPS Singapore, SPSA Slovakia, DISHFSA Slovenia, PSET Thailand, TPYC Turkey, BPSA United Kingdom, APHA ASP United States of America.
Thank you so much. Again, we will resume in an hour and a half. So that will be around 12, 12 GMT plus 0. So see you everyone then.